Hello there, and we are live. See ya, ladies and gentlemen, those who are still coming, into the show. See, it's another episode, yeah, episode 4 of the show that's very close to the bone, yeah. For me, it's the Dow and Claude Premier League show, season 1, episode 4. Pooh, pooh, pooh. How does it
Dope.
get? See, guys, see. Oregon Gunners, man. It's my bone, yeah. See, today man. We're going to talk today, man. See, it's going to be training day for some people. Yeah, see, they're not ready to listen to what we got for them today. See, without much ado, let me introduce my bro. Yeah, this is my brother. Yeah, my guy. Yeah, Arsenal to the core. See, another person from Oregon, USA. See, the Oregon Gunners in the house. CVS.
Oh, let's go.
Is in the house, guys.
Let's get it.
And you know what? Yeah, you know what? The charts. See, the big hitters are already here in the charts. I can see my guy, the Southern Gunner, is down here. Jamil, my brother, is down here. Carl Rossi. See, these Gunners are already in the house. Yeah, see, let's get into the elephant in the room. This morning, see, I'll take it because I have one or two spies, yeah, in that Arsenal, in that Arsenal stadium. So I'll take you through what's going on a little bit.
Fantastic.
Discuss about it. In the early hours of yesterday, Chelsea Football Club came to inquire about a certain Arsenal player. This guy doesn't play, is not in the footnote of Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta doesn't play him. Yeah? Let's get that correct. Yeah, and out the window. Yeah? Chelsea came, directed an inquiry towards him, and they also proposed a swap deal for this player involving their own player, Mudryk.
Right.
They were asking for a swap deal for Emil Rowe. Oh my God! It's only with Arsenal they try this. They try this thing. Yeah, DVS. Only with Arsenal. See, and then they now said they want that swap deal, or they could go for the payment. Either way, which one does Arsenal want? Do you know what? In the early hours of this morning, yeah, the news circulated everywhere that Chelsea Football Club is willing to give out money for Emil Smith Rowe. They want to bid for Emil Smith Rowe. And you know what? Arsenal outrightly rejected the offer of a swap deal between Mudryk and Emil Smith Rowe. So now it's now down to cash. And you know what? They said that Arsenal is ready to actually let Emil Smith Rowe go to Chelsea Football Club. DVS, they are willing to sell LN products, our graduates, to Chelsea Football Club. And do you know how much is being muted? Now, £50 million.
Yeah, I read
This is
that.
crazy. They sell their deadwood to us. They sell all these outrageous players for outrageous prices. And then Arsenal can bump up the price to about 80 million, 90 million, even if you want to sell Emil Smith Rowe. DVS, please talk about this. Talk to these people. They need to hear you.
Well, we've said many times every summer we talk about this with Emil Smith Rowe. Is this going to be the year that he's going to be able to express himself out on the pitch? Is he going to get the time to play? Right? And every season we're always let down as fans because we think we see him for a good run and then he gets injured or he gets pulled for some reason, right? This is Arteta's management strategy. You know, this is a strategy we've seen since day one when he's brought in to get rid of Ozil, which needed to be done. Get rid of Aubameyang. Some people are still half on that. Feel like Aubameyang got hard done. Feel like Arteta was in the right. But no matter what, Emil Smith Rowe has not been given a fair chance under Arteta. He got a few games under his belt the first season or two with them, but other than that, he's been nothing but a ghost, right? A lot to do with injuries as well. But injuries happen, right? The kid's a Hale End grad. He's been with the club for many years. We've given him a few chances, but the debate has been, whether do we just keep him or let him go because he hasn't gotten those chances and because we haven't let him really seen what he's got. But we've given the kid false hope as well, Tony. We've given the
Yeah.
kid the number 10 shirt. And when you give
Yeah.
the kid someone a number 10 shirt, you're putting a lot of responsibility on their shoulders. And then all of a
Yes.
sudden he makes a good run, 4 or 5 goals in 6 or 7 games, gets injured. And this has been kind of a theme for him at the club. A lot of us have talked about when is it time to let him go. But none of us have talked about selling him to our rival down the road. I don't understand the incompetence that Edu and Arteta and Vinay are showing in dealing with the scum from the West Side, because it hasn't gotten us anywhere, right? It got us David Luiz, it got us Willian, Jorginho, who's still, debatable.
The deadwood, the dead of the dead, the living
Deadwood,
dead, the
right.
zombies.
Right.
Yeah, the deadwood, the scraps
and we're burning that
Chelsea
dead
Football
wood
Club.
for them. We're giving them the money for the wood that we're putting in a fireplace and burning up, right? Essentially. So I don't want any more deals with Chelsea whatsoever. I don't know why we even have an ear to them or even involved in what they're doing or not doing. And it's a sad state of affairs when ESR is kind of the victim of all this, right? You don't give him, he spent 10, 12, 13, 14 years.
VVS is cooking, guys.
And we're just going to lose. It makes zero sense. And this could be a real nail in the Arteta management coffin. Because what happens is Emil Smith-Rowe goes, and then Vieira comes in. Let's not get gassed up on Vieira because man made an overhead kick. All right? Everyone's like, Vieira this, Vieira that.
TJ Warren is in the chat, yeah, guys. Yeah, pick up
Vieira brought fire
Warren,
to the game that was already dead. Okay? Vieira is not going to be mobile every single match. Is he going to do it against United, Chelsea, and Liverpool? Probably not. So let's not spunk in our genes about Vieira doing an overhead kick and making a few passes and getting a penalty for doing what he was supposed to do a season before, right? When he brought him on the pitch and he looked like a lost puppy out there. So, there's a different levels between ESR and Vieira. ESR can run and pass a ball and is very mobile. Vieira is getting there, but ESR is just a better player. And we know that. We can see that. We've seen that in many games. Look at the FA Cup games where he was just incredible, weaving the ball in and out, ripping up defenses. But the problem is his injury record. And how much do you want to keep paying the guy, Tony? I mean, really, we're paying him to sit on the bench, and we've given him contract after contract, hoping he'd come good. So maybe this is the time to cut the ties. But I don't want anything to do with Chelsea. If we want to send ESR to Sevilla or Valencia or maybe Barcelona or something, send him to Italy, fine. But don't sell him to your direct rivals. That's just complete stupidity. And the 50 million we get, who the F is that going to buy now? We're 2 days into the window
it's
over.
Chicken fit right now.
$50 million. That's
fit.
the average price. It's stupid business, especially when we have, obviously injury problems. We're going to have injury problems. So I don't see why we're even dealing with it.
Okay, Dow. Wait, see. Let it not be as if maybe we True Gunner is in the house. That's a legend down here, yeah? True Gunner, big ups to you. TJ Warren TV, big ups to you. Carl Rossi! Big ups to you, Carl Rossi. TJ is in the house, yeah? Go subscribe to that guy. Lovely human being, TJ. That's my brother. See, yeah? Guys, see. VVS. I don't want it to be as if maybe, we have an agenda or there's something we're trying to concoct down here. No, there's no agenda. But look at this holistically, yeah. If Emil Smith-Rowe comes out to say, hey, Arsenal fans, the board, I want to go to Chelsea Football Club. I've been at this club I love so much. I'm not getting a sniff. I'm not getting a chance. Harvertz, who came here, who's a Chelsea deadwood, a Chelsea flop, comes down here and is starting games beyond me.
Right.
Yeah. So if Emil Smith-Rowe comes out and say, you know what, coach, can I get a sniff? I want to play. I know I've been injured, but I've worked on my fitness. I've gone through surgery, and now I'm back, and I can't get a sniff in this team. What do I have to do to get a sniff in this team? I can't get it. So if he comes out tomorrow, because this got me angry when I saw this. If he comes out tomorrow morning and tells Mikel Arteta and the board, I want to go to Chelsea, will you have a problem with that? If the
Yeah,
player comes out and say,
extreme
hey, I
problem with
want to go
that.
to Chelsea, would you have a
Because
problem with that?
well, it would really make me think, Tony, that okay, maybe all this time we've invested in him and gave him new contracts and so forth is really a turnaround, a slap in the face if he wants to go to those scumbags. Again, we had a $40 million offer from Villa, I believe, in the January window. We turned it down for him. And so if he wants to leave, I would rather him go to Villa than Chelsea. I mean, I don't, but at the same time, he's kind of a hard figure to really nail down on stay or go, right? Because of the injury record. We've all tried to say, okay, this is the season for him. If it doesn't work, we got to let him go. Okay, next season, this is the season for him. If it doesn't work, we got to let him go. So if he's really not going to play, if Arteta said to him, hey, we're really putting you in the shop window, I don't have an extreme problem with that, but I do have a problem selling them to our direct rivals. That just makes no sense.
But what if it's the player that wants to initiate it? What if it's the player that wants to initiate it? What if he's saying, hey, I'm a London guy. I want to stay in London. And if Arsenal is not going to put me in games, Divius, let's look at this holistically, yeah? This guy has been insulted. He's been insulted. We bring in Kai Havertz from the same Chelsea Football Club, yeah? And he comes here and gets a starting berth at Arsenal, yeah? He's playing 90 minutes without no substitution. See, yeah, I won't be that guy that would sit down here and say, I don't want to give our £65 million signing a chance. I've given him 10 games to prove himself. So far in this season, 3 games have gone. Kai Havertz hasn't proven himself to me yet. It remains 7 more games for him to prove to me. Prove to me. Many other people have given up on him. I get that. But because I'm a fair guy, yeah? I'm a very fair guy. So I'm giving him more 7 games. Prove yourself or shut up. But again, it's a big insult, yeah, for a Chelsea Deadwood to come down to Arsenal, get games after games after games, no productivity, doing nothing on that pitch, 90 minutes, no passes, no goals whatsoever, and we have our ALN graduate, our ALN kid down there, ready to play, no injuries, no excuses. And this guy doesn't get a sniff in this team. So, see, I don't blame Emil Smith Rowe if he says, I want to stay in London. I want to play for Chelsea. I won't fault him in any way.
Yeah, I know, right. And none of those circumstances, Tony, right. I could kind of see, okay, you know what? Best of luck to you. If you want to go be a blue, go be a blue. That means to me that the red and white was never really in your heart that much. And I know because we have given him contract after contract, right, Tony? We really have. If your real ambition, well, number one should be to play, right, for the Arsenal. But if now your head's been turned, and you're like, oh, I might get game time over here. Does he think he's going to get game time at Chelsea in that lineup of 57,000 players? It makes no sense for him to even go there because of all the players they have already. They're clearing out. They're trying to clear out, and they're trying to bring new in, but I don't see where ESR fits in there at all.
But again, Chelsea, I see where Chelsea is going with this. They need that ball player. They're hardly keeping possession of the ball. If you check the game against Aston Villa, against all these other teams that beat them up already this season, they couldn't get hold of the ball. They can't keep possession of the ball for far too long. And they need those kind of tricky players that can be able to hold possession, trickily get into defenses, break down defenses in those little pocket spaces. And that's what Emil Smith Rowe brings. That's what he brings to the table. That's what Chelsea Football Club is seeing right now. And they want to gazump him. And the punks we have in this football club, they want to sell him. They're willing, the reports I got, they are willing to sell Emil Smith Rowe for the right price.
Yeah.
So it's not like Chelsea don't know what they want to get. They know what they're getting in Emil Smith Rowe. But the injury, they know he's that kind of guy that could fit into those little pocket spaces, play 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 with players like Sterling or Jackson who want to, get in across that 18-yard box. And it would turn them into a genuinely fairy team if Emil Smith Rowe finds his way into that team. So we're actually empowering Last time I checked, Chelsea's are big rivals in London. Yeah, these are not
Yeah,
friends.
yeah,
If we do business with them, it doesn't mean we're friends. These are big rivals to us. So why should we be doing business with these guys or listening to them?
we shouldn't be, Tony. That's the whole thing that chaps my hide so much is that
Mm,
if it was Aston Villa and he was pressuring a move, okay, Villa. I mean, yeah, they're looking good. They've got some top players in. They got a great manager, and they're definitely going to push for top four this season.
mm,
Fine, because it's not a direct rival. I don't want to. I had to see Robin van Persie go to United. I've had to see Cesc Fabregas go to Chelsea. I've had to see Alexis Sanchez go to
and
United.
go win titles
You
and go win titles. They
Go
went
win
there and
things,
they won titles,
right?
and it
And
hurt.
so in ESR, you're right. He could add some function and a spark to that side. But I
Mhm,
still think there's such a hodgepodge of players kind of just mixed together, right? Like a bowl of
mhm.
a bowl of gumbo. My man Southern Gooner knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Chelsea are a big pot of gumbo, all mixed
Mhm,
up. And Pochettino's trying to figure that out. I can't imagine trying to bring another central attacking midfielder into that mix and keep trying to work that out. But if I'm Emerald Smith Rowe and Chelsea come calling and they have a little bit bigger of a paycheck and can guarantee me games,
mm.
I'm out. I'm out.
But,
But
but
again, that makes me question, his dedication to the red and the white
to the red
because
and the white.
there's other clubs coming. You could say, hey, I'm going to fight for my spot over Vieira and Havertz. And I wouldn't
Mm.
mind seeing a 4-3-3 with ESR on the left, Rice in the middle,
Exactly,
and Odegaard on the right. I think that's a speedy
exactly.
midfield. Not much
And the last
defense,
time I
just a
checked, we're in
lot
the
of attack.
Champions League. See, yeah, DVS.
Yeah,
The last time I checked, yeah, when the see Tony Ibarra, that's a great guy too. Tony Ibarra, is
I
in the
got
house. Big
you,
ups to
baby.
you, Tony Ibarra. That's another guy that is a big friend of this channel. Jamio's a big friend of this channel too.
Sure,
Jamio, and Carl Rossi. See, yeah,
legends.
DVS. See, we're in the Champions League. Last time I checked, we need a big squad. Yeah, it's not far
Yeah,
fetched, right? You need a big squad to play in the Champions League. And
yeah,
Emil Smith Rowe in the Champions League is just another player that could come in and give it something
yeah.
different. So why should we even entertain that? Why should we entertain
We should
the,
we
the
should be
very the very
right,
figment of idea
right.
that we should be selling this guy?
We should
Because
be
we need a big
entertaining
squad.
Fabio Vieira alone. Why are we entertaining Fabio Vieira alone? Oh, he did an overhead kick. So here's the thing. You're right. ESR brings a different spark and energy in a Champions League. If we're playing against Ludogorets or, let's say who's in Real Sociedad, right? Because Real Sociedad's in the Champions League this year. Big up
Yeah.
Kieran Tierney. Um,
Danny's in the house. Good evening, Danny.
What's up, Danny?
Danny.
Pull, pull, pull. ESR is a
Danny.
different beast again in Europe, right? He gets the ball, he's direct. I don't
Yeah.
know why we're giving that to Chelsea. Why are we in their such good graces? And I'm starting to think, well, maybe Josh Kroenke is Todd Bowley or Buddy Buddy, right? American,
I think
American
so. I
sports
think
business
so.
guys,
Possible.
go out and have a beer afterwards, right? Who knows
Mm,
what's going on behind the scenes?
behind the
But
scenes.
but all the work we've put into Smith Rowe and all the times we've said, well, this is the year. Okay, maybe next year's the year. And to end it with a $50 million price tag. All of this shit we've been through with ESR to end on $50 million is pathetic and it's bad business. Especially they're talking about Mudryk, who's an $85 million rated
80,
player.
and he can't cross a ball.
35
See,
mil
guys in the
and
chat.
throw for
See,
a player that
see,
can't
don't be
pass or
deceived. Modric can't cross a ball.
madness.
I saw him again. I saw this guy against West Ham. This guy can't cross a ball. He can't cross a.
You
See,
can't
he can't
pass.
get a decent cross in. Arsenal shouldn't be even be thinking of any swap deal with this Modric guy. We dodged the bullet in the first place. We shouldn't be thinking about any swap deal with this guy. We shouldn't be thinking of any business with Chelsea Football Club. Enough is
No,
enough. Yeah,
yeah,
Edu,
come
enough is enough, please. Enough with this Chelsea business. I don't know what's going on down there, but please, enough. Because they seem to always just get the best out of us. They take the best out of us and give us the scraps. Yeah, give us their deadwood. and even get money to fund their own to get
Yeah,
killers for themselves.
right.
Just look at Lavia. Yeah, look at
The
Caicedo.
players we brought in. Yeah,
They sold us Deadwood, got £65 million, and then went
and the
on to
players
buy
we wanted.
Caicedo. Are we this blockheads? No, yes.
If
See,
we
and
if we
when some
sell,
certain fans talk, I listen. They open their gutters
mm,
and they just talk. Yeah, like they can't see what is going on because I can see it. A little kid that my crew interviewed at the stadium,
mm,
of course, in my new show that where we do our interviews in the stadium. A little kid, a young kid was disappointed with Arsenal's performance, and he
mm,
said, "Sell Kai Havertz." See, if a young kid like that
right.
understands what it means to be an Arsenal fan, understands the pain when we see Kai Havertz play 90 minutes, and we have players like Emil Smith Rowe on the bench who is now linked to Chelsea for a pittance, for chicken change, 50 million, 40. And
Mm-hmm.
bet me, the negotiators won't even negotiate a big price. They might even end up taking £35 million. Look at Balogun. Balogun is going for 40 million pounds,
Yeah.
just 40. When every other person around us, every other club are looking at getting this guy, and we're selling him for just 40. It's an aberration. It's a disgrace. We
Yeah.
should be getting 70 million for Balogun. DVS, what do you think? Even Balogun, that price he went for, even if it's a record
Yeah.
but
Right. It is a
still,
record. Right.
it is a record, but it's chicken change. We should be getting 70 million for that guy.
The only ones I want to see out of the club is Tavares. At this point, Tavares holding. Um,
He's playing with Win the Dog. Those guys wouldn't leave they wouldn't leave the club.
I don't understand why we're going to go. We're hoping to go deep in the Champions League. We've got Carabao matches coming up, FA matches. I don't understand why we're selling players with potential, right? ESR again, like we talked about earlier, is that we've given him chance after chance after chance, right? And the injuries keep mounting up. There has to become a time where either play the guy or you just cut the cord and let him go. And we're about ready to cut the cord. Now with Balogun, there's a little bit of indifference there because we know that he can produce in the French league. Some would say a farmers league, which I don't agree with, but it is what it is, right?
It is
but
what it is, right?
Just the goals alone compared to Nketiah, it's a no-brainer, Tony. You compared 9 goals to 22. Granted, it's a different league, but that's almost 3 times as much. That's almost 3 times the production that Nketiah has given us that we've got through Balogun.
Exactly.
45 mil. I mean, I'm glad we didn't sell him to Chelsea because he was going to go to Chelsea too. I mean, hey, again, Emil Smith Rowe, you want to go, fine. Go follow our boy Balogun to Monaco. If we're not going to play him, we need to sell him. But
if he goes to Chelsea, would you look at him like a traitor?
Yes.
Will he be a traitor?
Yes.
If he go, because see, I don't want us to classify him as a traitor because he's not getting any sniff, any football with this manager.
Right, but there's other clubs. Hey, if he's not going to get a sniff, we could have sold him to Aston Villa. We could sell him to Newcastle. We could sell him to Monaco or sell him to maybe some Italian team, Juventus or someone like that. Who knows? I'm just obviously throwing clubs out top of my head. But the fact of the matter is, Tony, is that we can't boost our opposition. Monaco is not our direct opposition. Juventus or whatever is not our direct opposition. Aston Villa, yes, now because they're better, but Chelsea is a direct competitor rival. I'm not even considering Tottenham as a rival. No more. League has called this. You've called this. Jez has called it. Tottenham Hotspur is not our direct rival anymore.
It's Chelsea.
It's Chelsea. It's Chelsea that we have problems with, for the last 20 years. And they've been the most dominant English team in the last 20 years. So they're a direct rival when it comes to trophies, transfers, just player swapping, obviously, trying to keep up with them financially. They're our rivals, okay? There's no other, them and United are our rivals. And with that said, when you have a player like ESR who's looking like his time is up, right? Got 2 or 3 more days for the transfer. His time is up. but you don't sell him to a rival. That's
To a
like
direct rival,
that's like
empowering them.
that's kind of like Apple selling something to Google, or Google selling their an asset. I won't say prized asset to Facebook or something, right? It makes zero sense. And plus, we're funding the players that we wanted that have joined them.
Mm,
Make it make sense. We
make
wanted
it make
Caicedo.
sense.
We wanted Latvia. Both of those players I would take right now over ESR. Don't
Mm.
give me fucking Modric, bro. Give me Caicedo.
Give me Caicedo.
Give me Caicedo. I'll make that swap deal for ESR all day long. And
I'll
I'll
make,
give you
I'll make,
60 million
I'll make
cash.
that I'll make that transfer, man.
Clip
See,
it. I don't
see,
give a shit.
I'll make that
I know
transfer.
when I see that news this morning, Tony, I was just like, out of the blue, why the living F, for God's sakes, would we sell them ESR? It makes
Oh my God.
no sense. I don't
It
know if
makes
it's
no
just a
complete
hype train
sense.
that's
It
taken
makes no
off.
sense.
2 more days before the window closes. Why is
Mm.
this guy even in the talk right now? Why is he
In the
even
talk right now, but
because
again,
he's under contract with us.
Carl Rossi has something to say to us. He said, "I wouldn't blame any player wanting out
Right.
from Arsenal under this manager." Yeah. However, to
Right.
your point, DVS, him going to Chelsea makes little sense for him either. Now, I can clearly get that. But again, man, I, see, I wouldn't blame Emil Smith Rowe if he wants to go to Chelsea. I won't blame him because under this manager, he's not going to get a sniff. And if he decides he
Right.
wants to stay in London, he could stay and get that Chelsea movement. I don't blame him because this manager won't play him. He doesn't trust him. He's not going to play him either way. So just go to somewhere that that would want to play you. Yeah, Fabregas did it.
Right.
Yeah, and I consider Fabregas to be a legend of Arsenal than Emil Smith Rowe.
Right.
So if he did it, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's
Come on,
just
man.
I know, but Fabregas is someone who saw out, as far as I'm concerned, pretty much the end of his contract. Right?
Mm.
He was there was 16 years old till
And
he was
anyway, went to
25
Barcelona. I
years old.
think even I
Yeah,
think he went to
exactly. The
Barcelona
Barcelona
before he came to
first, then
Chelsea. Yeah.
Chelsea, correct. But I think he saw out his contract. Maybe there was a few months left or a year. He's
Oh
not
yeah.
someone who we've just continually taken a chance on, right? ESR, I feel,
Mm.
is someone we've continually given a chance to, and it's either it's really been by injury that he's not been playing, And you're right. If he's in London, he's got his family, etc. Maybe move the kid, but I think $50 million is a steal for Chelsea,
It's
especially
a
when you start bringing
steal.
Modric.
It's a steal.
Because now they're rating Modric as a 45, 50 million player, and they want to regain what they lost
What they
35
lost.
on him. So they feel
And
like, well, shit, if Modric shit, we'll just bring ESR in, who we know's better, and just basically write off the 40 million we lost on Modric.
guess who's the whipping boy? Guess who's the guys that will buy this player, this Modric guy? It's Arsenal. It's only
Right.
Arsenal
We're helping Chelsea out in
that
all
will do
ways, shape,
business with
and form.
Chelsea for this guy. It's only our football club that will do this, with Chelsea. But anyway, we've talked about Emil Smith
Yeah.
Rowe. See,
It may not. There's 2 days left of the window.
2 days.
I think I don't know if I really see that actually happening, to be honest. Maybe in January if he's not getting the time, but I think it's too close to the window, and ESR will probably push to getting some play time. Hopefully he'll push Vieira and
But
Odegaard to get.
mind you, all these players are looking into getting a chance into that European slot because European football will be coming quite soon. So all these players they wanna play European football. They want to get into their national teams. So I don't blame Emil Smith Rowe in any of his choices right now. It's just that it hurts me that it's Chelsea that all
Right,
these things is happening. Can't it be any other club? Why is Chelsea that club that will come sell their dead woods to us and
right,
get our good woods, bring to their football clubs? We pay them cash. They go and get great players and bring them in. See, in time, it's just a matter of time now. Yeah,
hmm
Chelsea buying all these big manageable players, yeah, like Caicedo, Lavia, and a lot. If they start playing together with the wonderful coach they have right now, things
hmm
can start shaping up for them, and they will become our direct rivals once again. Eh, Like trying to get titles and all that stuff. And we won't meet them up because we've sold our good woods to them. We've given them money funded their transfers to go get those killers and bring to their team, while we're out here left with Cedric the Entertainer, and we're also left with El Neni. All these dead players.
Yeah.
We're still here, and Holden is still in this football club. Tavares is still in this football club. It's an aberration. It's a disgrace. But you know what? Yeah, let's move away from all that. Yeah, let's move away from all that. I see. I got news today, and probably maybe later on the news will filter through the news very very soon. Arsenal, in fact, Edu has got direct contact with Napoli Football Club this afternoon. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, and he's actually on the phone discussing about Victor Osimhen, the £150 million striker for Napoli. Who won the highest goal scorer last season. He also won the Italian Serie A with them. With Napoli last season. So I heard that Edu has gotten into direct contact with their Napoli fellow negotiators, and he's trying to explore how he's going to bring in Victor Osimhen to Arsenal this summer. What do you think, DVS?
Well, I got. put Carl Rossi
because we just ranted about
Yeah,
Smith Rowe, and now we're now hearing about Victor Osimhen. So is this a small screen or something? Knowing Arsenal, but I'll leave you to talk about it.
I would do everything in my power if I'm Edu to make that transfer happen. I would sell Yazar to Chelsea. Here I am waffling and flip flopping, right? Victor Osimhen, once in a lifetime talent. God, but here's the problem though, Tony, and I think I speak for a lot of us. Hopefully, a lot of us Gooners in here.
Yeah.
Will Arteta use him correctly? Like, will Arteta? Oh, maybe I'll just put him in for Saka. Maybe I'll just put him in for Harvertz, and I'll make him more inverted striker, and he'll come up behind Eddie and rotate around. Hey, I'm all for Osimhen coming in, bro. 150 million, spend it all day long, right? It's not my money.
What's this Disney guy that does all these contortions with the whole?
Is he going to get contorted in a lineup like a contortionist in a fucking circus and not know where he's playing? And he's going to end up at right back to stum up Thomas Partey's ass or something. Who knows how Arteta's going to play him? He might be the next keeper. David Raya could be our next left winger if Martinelli's playing defensive mid. So who knows?
Oh my God!
Yeah, I would pull. I mean, you obviously need a striker, right? We see Man City with Holland, Newcastle with Isak, Nunez at Liverpool, who I think is probably going to have a pretty good season because I think he's kind of blended in more. He's going to have a very good season. But when you bring Osimhen perfect. Because I still maybe the only one of our whole group, our little community, that believes Ivan Toney is probably not coming to Arsenal. And I know that breaks so hearts, but I just don't see that happening. But I see.
But of course, that Ivan Toney stuff, See, DVS, that Ivan Toney stuff, they're quoting the papers are making him to be 100 million in the market. Yeah, I was hearing 800 million. And this guy comes in January. By then, the title push would have collapsed by that time.
Right.
So if Ivan Toney is 100 million, why not just go for Victor Osimhen, who's within that price range, 100 and 120 million? We have players we can ship out to Napoli, give them some of our deadwoods. We still have Cedric down here. We have Holden down here. We have Nuno Tavares down here. We have all these dead players down here. Why don't we ship them? The 5 week show just dropped us. See, guys, Carl Russell, the 2-pounder down there. Carl Russell's down here. See, he dropped us that too. See, Carl Russell, the best French Irishman I know. Big ups to you, my guy. Big ups to you. Yeah, thanks for that, man. People like you keep us going, man. Thanks, man. And of course, the 5 week show, 1.99 pounder for us. That's my brother Ola. Me and Ola might be on Sunday, and you have to be ready for this one. You have to be ready for that one too. Me and Ola, the fight week show. See, yeah, why don't we get this some of our deadwoods, yeah, like the likes of Nuno Tavares, ship them
Right.
to Napoli, yeah, get a cut on that price. Make Vito Osimhen that 100 million signing we want to go waste on Ivan Tony by January, and we know that we're getting this guy this summer, pay him the money he wants, and come and be that striker we deserve.
Now,
Because even Gabriel Jesus is not the striker we want.
right.
He can't get us. See, DVS, this guy can't
Yeah.
get us 30 goals this season. Let's don't deceive ourselves. He can't get us 30 goals this season. Even
Right.
in a big team like Man City, the highest he scored is 15 goals. He can't come here and give us that goal. So why don't we go? Why don't you drop our ego? Drop your ego, Edu. Drop that ego. Go beg. Bend down and beg. Kiss the ring. Go get Victor Osimhen. 100 million. I don't care. Throw this
Right.
couple of players, yeah? This couple of deadwoods that we have. Go ship them down there and get this guy in. We need a striker. We need a striker. DVS, what do you think?
I have no problem selling Eddie and bringing in Eddie Osimhen. I would keep Jesus as a backup, or maybe start Jesus in some games and bring Osimhen in for an impact goal. But Osimhen gives them a lot more options, right? You could possibly play a 4-4-2 with him and Jesus up front. Jesus a bit off the left. I know that's a stretch. He probably won't do
Yeah.
that because he wants to tinker. But Osimhen gives you much more options, and I have no problem giving them Tavares, El Neni, Suarez, Holding. I will drive all 4 of those players to Naples and drop them off in front of the stadium. And our man Rossi has a point. Napoli's hard to deal with, right? Because they are a selling club in some aspects, but they know a top talent when they have one. And I think it's going to possibly take more than 150 mil to pull him away. But with that being said, Napoli also has very good, I think, scouting, right? So they can really take 150 mil and make something out of that in the Italian league. There's other players that they've probably already identified long ago, knowing that Victor Osimhen's eventually going to leave. Napoli are no mugs when it comes to the transfer market.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a hard one to pry away. But yeah, I would give them cash and I would drop them 4 players off that I mentioned.
4 or 5 deadwoods.
That's not right? Shit without holding. They may find something out of El Neni and Cedric Suarez, right? I mean, for them,
Cedric the Entertainer.
Suarez may
We
be
have
a
Cedric the
decent right
Entertainer.
back. Yeah.
Yes, we see how Cedric the Entertainer in this club. He's there.
Send him to Napoli.
He doesn't want to go. They love us. See, these guys, they just want to stay and get a salary. We have all these guys. Ship them to Naples. Bring in Victor.
Yep.
See, we have all this deadwood here, and they're just playing with win the dog.
Right.
What are their use in this team? Yeah, and we have the markets. Ship these players. What is Holden still doing down here? Okay, see, I know you like this guy. Let's move into another one, yeah? I know you like this guy, yeah, but we've not had the opportunity to talk about this guy. It's Kylian Tierney. See, yeah, Kivio, you saw that game against Fulham, yeah?
Yeah.
Kivio was a decent guy in that back four, in that left back position. Let's be factual. He's a decent guy. But Divius, you know what, yeah? Mark that word. Decent. He's just decent.
Yeah.
He's decent. There's nothing spectacular. He can't overlap. He can't run at players. He can't get decent cross in, even if he finds himself in such positions. And he's also taken to a mistake. Yeah. And then we let the only guy who could come in a second half game, get those crosses in, get across players, at least with his speed, right? He could do that. We've seen him do that. And he has a keen eye for those, those tingling, niggly crosses to the 18-yard box that could cause constellation and chaos in the 18-yard box, of our opponent, yeah? And that's Kylian Tierney. And he went to Real Sociedad, yeah?
Right.
What should we be doing in this track? Because I'm more of a guy of solutions rather than just, arguing and bickering. What should Arsenal go to do? See, we have just a day to go in the transfer window. What should we be doing right now? to make sure that that left back position is covered. Me and we know this, that we cannot rely on Zinchenko right now. It's
Right.
just an injury away. He's a crybaby sometimes, yeah, but it's just it's just an injury away from calamity, and then we'll be crying about that left back position. Tomiyasu, we've seen he can do it. it
Can't do it.
it's not Arsenal level. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
I
We have to be
agree.
ruthless. We have to be ruthless with this. It's not just that guy. Yeah, let's
Right.
be frank with this. It's not just that guy. Kivior is decent, and that's it. Just decent. He can't carry us. If Zichenko gets an injury, then we'll be in big problems. DVS, before the transfer window ends, what should we be doing in that left back position right now? Take it away.
Well, I know we shouldn't be bringing in Luke Shaw because I don't.
Oh my.
I don't know. And this is where Arteta's done it again. He handcuffs himself when it comes to decision making and player selection, not thinking ahead that, oh yeah, we're going to have close to 70 some games this season. The Kieran Tierney thing makes no sense either, Tony.
It makes no sense.
What
It
like
makes no sense.
how is it like how can you
It makes
Yeah,
and it's going out on a loan. It's not even a direct sale.
right.
That's
Right.
even the most mind-boggling one. It's
Why is
not
it
even a
Kiwior
direct
going
sale.
to
It's
Rio
on loan.
Sociedad? Kiwior needs to be going to Rio Sociedad to up his game, to get better, to learn the craft of defending, learn the art of defending. Yeah, it's not Italy, it's Spain, but still, it's another stupid decision. And I am truly baffled by the Kieran Tierney decision. I think what the plan was, Tony, was that Timber was going to slot in at left back, and he was going to play Timber at left back and keep Ben White at right back. But obviously, with the injury to Timber, that's shuffled things around. I'm not going to go too much into the Thomas Partey at right back that's been discussed over the last week to 10 days, right?
Oh, we're going to the tinkering.
We're going to because it leads to
About
that. Because he
We
has
have
no
to
other
talk about that
option.
because we
You know?
can't tinker when we're about to play this chicken.
Right.
This
I don't know
onion
why
on
you
the
can't
chicken.
put
We have
Kiwior
to
at
play
right
this guys.
back.
No excuses. So we have to talk about the tinkering of the
Yeah,
old team.
yeah,
We have
right.
to.
And
So yeah,
right. From
continue.
what I'm saying, Tony, I don't want to dive into that. I mean, we're going to talk
Yeah,
about it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because we know that's what the effect on has happened, right? The
Mm.
effects of what happened with Kieran Tierney going to Sociedad, the effect of Zinchenko being injured, has pushed Partey at right back for some fucking weird reason, right? I don't know why Kiwior can't play right back with Gabriel and Saliba in the back three, right? I
But
mean,
again,
put Ben White right there.
but DVSC, no matter how you want to run away from this stuff, yeah, how, how can we be talking about Kivior in the right back position? Like, does it make
It's a center
sense?
back.
It doesn't make sense. We shouldn't
Right.
even be thinking about that.
I
We have
know,
a
but I
right
would
back.
rather have.
We have a right
I
back
would,
who
but I
did
would
so
have
well last
Thomas.
season.
Right.
See,
Right. No,
see,
you're right. It should be
I'm
Ben
gonna
White.
pull the
It should be
see,
Ben White
guys. I'm gonna pull
and
the remaining
Gabriel.
hair off my head now. Yeah, this is
Right.
making me
No, it
mad.
should be right back.
How in God's
It should
name
be
do we
right.
have a right back who was doing so well last season? And
Right. But
this
if he's
season,
not
we
playing them,
completely changed everything. It's
right.
not the right back no more. We have the best defensive midfielder being compared to Casemiro last season, even better than Casemiro in some quarters last season, and it's playing right back this season. See, I have a problem with all these things, yeah, and
Right.
it's not going down well. There has to be a change before that Man United game, yeah. We have to change all those things.
Right.
But I'll allow you finish up, man.
Well,
I'll allow you finish
I
up.
guess my point is with Kira, right? Ben White, if we're going to do a four, see, the thing is that he wants to invert a left back or a right back, and no one understands why. So if you take that reasoning, okay, if we're going to invert a left back or a right back, you have to pick one, right? Which leaves three more defenders. So in essence, we were always using Zinchenko on the left back, but now all that's been mixed up because of his injury and Tierney going to Sociedad. But it's like, why was he experimenting with Thomas Partey last season at right back? That's where my problem is that if he playing him right back at the start of this season because of injuries or so forth, I still don't understand it. but I can kind of say, okay, well, we got a lot of injuries and we need to do something. But the thing is that he was doing this last season to games where we were losing. And he still went with that. And that's the real big problem I have with Thomas
Well,
Partey. Right?
that's the
Obviously,
big
it's not his
problem.
natural position, right? But
Yeah.
besides that, it's not his natural position. I truly believe you don't play players out of their natural positions. No real other clubs do that. Big up, Ola, Fight Week Show.
Big ups, Ola. Go subscribe to that channel,
No other
yeah,
clubs
guys. Ola, the Fight Week Show. Go subscribe to that channel. Big guy, big great guy, yeah. Yeah.
I just,
Yes, you were saying something.
I think that Ben White, if he's not going to play, Kiwior can play, like even Pon says, left back or left center back. Okay, then does Saliba move to the right or Gabriel move to the right? And I don't agree with any of that. I don't know why we're just not playing a flat back four and having overlaps. Why is the introverted thing so cherished in Arteta's brain? Because he saw Zinchenko probably doing it, right? I don't know, Tony. I just keep thinking, like, why is he doing all this? We're arguing
but again,
brain shit, because it makes no sense.
but again, yeah, DVS, this is very simple.
It
Like,
is.
don't tinker with what helped us last season get through. This is a simple thing. Revert back. See, Mikel Arteta, because I heard these guys listen to all these shows, yeah. They watch these shows, yeah. They do, yeah. Please just go back to what was working for us last season. At least, just go. See, there's no Mikel Arteta. See, yeah, there is no shame. There is no shame. Yeah,
No, just
there's
get us
no shame.
winning.
There's no shame. Yeah, reverts back to what helped us last season get ahead. There is completely no shame. Accept it that you've goofed. Accept it that you've made a mistake. We all make mistakes. We're humans. We all make mistakes. Yeah. Accept it. You've made a big mistake with this Kai Havertz thing. Just accept it. Yeah. There's no shame. Be shameless like me. There's no shame. Just accept it. You've lost it. Yeah. Revert back to the back four that helped us last season get ahead. Yeah. Put Benjamin White in that right back position. Put your arms on the shoulder of Gabriel Magalhaes. Bring him back into the fray.
Yeah.
Those two pairings worked for us last season. So why are you benching that kid?
Because Arteta wants to win. Arteta wants to win
on the bench.
Arteta wants to win his way. He wants to be able to tinker and say, "Oh, it worked out with Thomas Partey at right back, so I'm now this tactical genius." He wants that sort of praise and his own self-motivation to do some of this stuff. I know it's baffling to all of us. It's even to the pundits, like on ESPN, Talk Sport, BT Sport. You go on and on and on. What have you? Is all the pundits are baffled, like, what the fuck is he doing? And Ben White has really stepped up to really make that position his own. And then you slap him in the face by sitting him on the bench the first few games of the season and playing and forcing Kai Havertz in there. That's the whole.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, guys. Longhaired Yeti is here, the Nottingham Forest fan, and that's my friend, Longhaired Yeti. Yeti has a channel. Guys, go subscribe to Longhaired Yeti. Great guy, honorable human being. That Longhaired Yeti. Go subscribe to that guy. Great guy. Danny! Po is still in the show. Danny! Big up to you, Danny, man. We see you. See, DVS, yeah. Let's get into another topic, yeah.
Sure.
The topic of this goalkeeping position, yeah. I'm not gonna let it slide. I'm not gonna let that goalkeeping position slide. Yeah. We knew that Bukayo Saka, gave that ball away. It's his fault. No problems.
Sure.
But if you take a step back, yeah, and go look at the replays of that gaff by Bukayo Saka, you would see Ramsdale out of his position.
Right.
Yeah. If you're coming out of your position to actually help to get the ball, then you better do it. If you don't do it quite well, then you better be positioning yourself quite well in the box. but he does nothing. It's outside his 18-yard box,
Hmm.
doing nothing, and you couldn't position yourself in a place to help the team to at least put up a performance. Yeah,
Right.
I know it's not his fault for that goal. But again, why are you a goalkeeper? You're a goalkeeper to help your team, even if you're not at fault in giving the ball away. We have
Yeah.
a goalkeeper who is sitting on the bench right now, and this
Right.
is what gets me. This is what gets me annoyed. We have someone who's sitting on the bench, yeah, a like for like replacement, like for like competition, a guy who could come into this team and galvanize the whole thing. Last season, his stats was better than Aaron Ramsdale. Are you talking of crossfield passes? Are you talking of ball distribution? This guy is a don. He's a legend. It's just like Jazz. It's the don of this. Yeah, he does it.
Sure.
That guy, that guy's great. His stats speaks for itself.
Right.
Stats blows away Aaron Ramsdale. And we have that guy, and we're conceding goals from left, right, and center, and Aaron Ramsdale is doing nothing. Yeah. And trust me, I'll put my money, yeah, even on a penalty kick, even in penalty kicks, penalty catches. I'll put my money on David Raya before I put my money on Aaron Ramsdale. I'm
Mm.
sorry to say. Right now, we have to be shameless about these things, yeah, and call these things out. Yeah. Don't you think in this matchup against Manchester United, let's remove every shame and bring in David Raya? We brought him here for a purpose. Can he come in? Davies, over to you.
Yeah. Bring them in.
I need to see if you're shameless, my brother.
You know,
I need to see if you're shameless, man.
I'm trying to be shameless after following this club for over 20, 24 years, Tony. I have no more heart to give because I haven't
Mm,
picked up a trophy in over 20 years. You know what I mean? A
mm,
title trophy. FA Cup is great, it just doesn't cut it for me. But anyway, back to your point. Um, yeah, give him a chance. I that so let's go backwards to the Fulham goal, right? Because you started
CK
off.
Moss across the sports pond is a great guy, yeah. Big up to him. It's Canadian. He does lots of
Yeah,
sports and lots of stuff. Go check that guy out. He's a great guy, yeah. Yeah,
sure.
big ups. Yeah.
So let's take it back a little bit. You said Saka placed the wrong pass.
Mm,
Ramsdale's out of his goal. See, I've played keeper, and I'm not trying to say I'm an expert, but I've played keeper a few times growing up in school,
yeah,
in high
yeah.
school, and so forth. You come up, you get off your line, right? You pass the ball up. You think the ball's going up the pitch. You start
Mm,
drifting forward, and next thing you know, you
mm,
lose the ball. You're backtracking, but he was out of position. But who's to say that David Raya wouldn't be either? I mean, that goal from Piera, he really just kind of looped it around him. I don't see a keeper, but to think that David Raya would have his heels on the line in that position, really,
mm,
really.
mm.
I mean, I think it's a stretch to blame Ramsdale on that goal. It's really a bad
No,
pass
no,
from
no. Completely. I don't blame
Havertz.
Ramsdale, but all I'm saying is we have Boxer Ishaku. That's my Nigerian brother. He's down here too. Big ups to you, Boxer Ishaku. You're welcome to the show. See, yeah, I'm not blaming. I'm not blaming. I'm not
Sure,
putting the blame on Aaron Ramsdale. Yeah, but again, see, we cannot have David Raya. We brought this guy on loan. Let's give him a
right.
chance. Yeah, let's give him a
Yeah,
chance. We've seen
yeah.
enough of Aaron Ramsdale. He took points off us last season. He's doing it
Mm,
again. He's not helping the team. His distribution is poor. See, yeah, there's no coordination with our back four. No one is talking. See, Divius, do you remember Aaron Ramsdale when he first came? He had that
mm,
spirit. He was always talking to this back four, always
right,
screaming at them. Always, if there's
right.
something wrong, he's out there saying, "Hey, do this." Have you noticed that that's fizzled away from his game? He's no more that guy. He's not talking again. The back four is not. He's not coordinating anything. Again,
Because he
the
doesn't know who the
distribution
back
has
person is going
disappeared.
to be.
The
He doesn't know who
distribution
the
has
back rower
disappeared.
will be. Right.
Exactly, the distribution has disappeared.
The
So,
real But what I saw from Tony, what I saw from that goal is that Saka to the back pass. Ramsdale was out of his box a bit much, but the person who was really out of position was Thomas Partey because he was inverted close. You go back and
but
look at that.
would you blame Thomas Partey? You can't
No,
blame
because
him.
that's what he's
He's
supposed
playing
to do.
right back.
If we had a normal setup with four in the back, Saliba would have
Exactly.
come around and filled that gap, and
I
that
feel
goal
that
doesn't
gap.
happen.
But and the worst part of it is that we can't even blame Thomas Partey. That's it. He's not a
No,
right back. No one can blame Tom.
He was
It's
going
not
to
a
where
right
he
back.
was
It's
supposed
not
to
his
be.
job. It would be absurd for anyone
he was unburdened.
to
The
pick
ball was moved
Thomas
out.
Partey for the job.
It's
He's
crazy,
not a
bro.
right back, and that's the problem. You see, DVS, yeah, it's a bigger problem, yeah, because you
Right.
can't criticize Thomas Partey based on that because he's not a right back. You don't expect him to do that job.
Right.
He's
Here's
not a
what I
right back.
criticize. Here's
He's the
out of
best
all that, Tony,
CDM in the league, and he's playing right
in
back.
the top three. Yeah, for sure. I would say top three for sure. Absolutely.
Anyway, I'm talking about Bar
Right.
Rodri. I'm talking about Bar Rodri. Yeah, Bar Rodri.
Yeah.
But it's top
I
three.
get
Yeah,
you.
But yeah. Let's put
Yeah.
him in that
Yeah.
bracket.
Fair enough. But on his day, he's the best. I would give you that.
On his day, is the best. Yeah.
The issue is, Tony, that I see is that God, I really want to mince my words. So it's not it's not for me, it's Thomas Partey at right back. It's the feeling I get when I see the lineup of nervousness, of not feeling settled and confident in the morning's, the afternoon game.
Yeah.
So it's more or less just like my confidence isn't there, right? And when he does, and Arteta makes these moves, it buries my confidence deeper and deeper.
And deeper and deeper,
You know
right?
what I'm saying? I don't have that much confidence, even if he does get the first 11 right, because even in the end of Wenger years, you've got to admit every time a game comes up, you would have a knot in your stomach because we don't know what to expect, and that's the big problem. I think if you even look at Ramsdale, he's probably got a knot in his stomach, not knowing what defenders he's going to be working with. Not unknowing that Ramsdale knows Thomas Partey's not a right back. So Ramsdale probably feels that I have to keep that in my mind, that this guy cannot get back and defend. Right? So there's an air of non-confidence throughout the squad. And that's what led to the goal in the first minute.
It's not
the lineup was wrong. It's not that the positioning, which was wrong at the time, the pass obviously was a mistake, that we make the mistakes and it destroys our confidence. It's like we were nervous to even get out there on the pitch that day, Tony. It's nervousness that made that mistake. It's nerves and not knowing what's really going to happen, because Arteta is so bad at giving directions and is so vague in his directions. And
but it's ironic. It's ironic. The manager is always on the touchline. It's ironic when you say that, because he's always on the touchline. He's always backing out orders to this guy. So
if you're watching the game, you hear "bop bop bop bop" on the back. Are you really paying attention to him? No, because the game's fucking moving right here in front of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Have confidence going into these games, Tony, and it shows. It shows on the kickoff against Fulham. Which shows we're lost out there. We looked lost in the first minute and a half.
Exactly. And see, even in the second goal, what were those guys thinking? Leaving Paulina to just run us ragged. No one was defending.
We thought the game was
Everyone
over.
just forgot about defending. And this is the problem. They just lose concentration. You know what? Yeah, see, I watched the game against Liverpool against Newcastle. I watched how Newcastle battled. They were one man down. How they battled and came back in that game against Newcastle. We out here against Fulham, 10-man Fulham, and we cannot maintain our concentration at home. Liverpool had to go to Newcastle to go do that. Away in St. James Park. It doesn't get ferocious than that. They're in Northumberland, the North. I've watched a game. a game in Northumberland. That place it's a fairy furnace. It's ferocious. It's a horrible place to go to, both as a fan and both as a football watching guy. Even a neutral. Because the fans are so vociferous. So for Liverpool to go down there, one man down, and maintain a very elite kind of mentality and come back in that game. Man, why is Arsenal foul trip against Fulham at home? See, props given to
Yeah,
Fulham. Yeah, I don't mean
for
any
sure.
harm, to
He is a
them. But
class player.
again, we're home. We're home. We're home. We're home. And
Yeah,
we ought to be putting those type of games, uh, you know, on blast, because
yeah,
those are the games that at the end of the day, those points count. And now we have City at the top of the league, and we know these guys are robots. They would just
right.
they would just keep running. How do we get those points? Is unless we beat them. Are we sure you can beat them this season even at home? That's the problem. That's the problem, man.
I don't think we're beating anybody till we go back to a normal back four, and you don't have this aura of confusion around the club.
Mm,
It's like
mm.
stick with what works. Tony, you have a normal 40-hour week job. I do. Many of the people in the chat probably do,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And what we do is our job. We do a lot of the things over and over that works because it's efficient. And we know processes and systems that work in our daily lives, even
Mm.
outside our jobs, outside of YouTube, outside of football. We have processes and systems we use in our daily lives,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What he's trying to do is an egotistical, flamboyant, if you want, way of playing football.
Yeah,
Because
I
no
agree.
one else in the league inverts their left and right backs. It makes no
I
sense.
agree.
If you want to play a 3-4-3, play a fucking 3-4-3. You're
Okay,
not
good. Divius,
beating anyone.
how do you want to see us set up against Man United?
I
Yeah,
want to see
because
I want to see a
because
4-2-3-1.
no matter how we talk about
4-2-3-1.
Mikel Arteta,
Yeah,
nothing is gonna change, and he has an airtight contract. Yeah, this guy,
right.
the Cronkies, they love him. This guy's not gonna get sacked. Yeah, let's see, guys in the chat. It might be bad news, but that's the reality. And
Yeah.
I hate dealing on it because he's not going anywhere. This guy's staying here. Yeah, we're
I
stuck
don't
with him.
right.
So what does this guy have to do, yeah, in our matchup against Manchester United that would change everything up, put us in a better place of beating these chickens, Manchester United, yeah, because
Right.
they are chickens. To be very
Scum.
sincere with you, these guys, their midfield is so poor. They brought in this guy, what's his name, Mount, a fellow Deadwood from Chelsea, because Chelsea,
He
it's
doesn't play
true,
him at winger.
Chelsea sell their Deadwoods, yeah,
Right.
to all football clubs, and
Yeah.
everyone are buying it, yeah. They sold their Deadwood. They got this Deadwood from Chelsea Football Club. Now he's injured. He's not playing. I just got word that Varane is not playing. He's
He's
injured.
outfield
So
this week.
Arsenal have a big advantage. And you know what, DVS? We are at home. We can't afford to screw
Right.
this up. Our
Nope.
noisy neighbors, the not Londoners, yeah, that sports,
Yeah.
yeah, they beat these guys up 2-0. Simple and sweet. We can't be caught napping against Manchester United. Not on Sunday. Not on Sunday. We have to be beating these guys. What will Mikel Arteta do on that day that will make you say, okay, I think we have a chance, we have a shot on disciplining Manchester United? Even if they're coming with their referees, Anthony Taylor is coming
Right.
down there. You know, is a sworn Manchester
Yeah.
United
Yeah.
referee.
Oh yeah.
So
That'll be a
let's just
fun.
get that out of the way. Yeah.
Well, like Yeti said, don't even touch them with a finger in the box because they're going to go down like a sack of potatoes. So anyway, which is true. If I'm Arteta and I have the players fit that we know are fit, I do a back four of Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, and Ben White. And I do defend 4-2-3-1 with Rice and Partey in front of the back four,
Mm,
Martinelli, Odegaard, Saka, and Jesus up front.
mm,
That's the
mm.
lineup.
That's
That's
the
what brought
lineup,
us
man.
success last season. I mean, without obviously Rice, but I do think Rice is a better player than Xhaka and will get better. No offense, Juminho. But I do think that Rice's first season is going to be a little ups and downs, and he's looked good so far. I think in the last 3 games, he's got a lot of energy. He can run box to box. He can make things happen, and I think if given some some space to move and a chance to express himself, Rice could
Mm.
dominate that midfield against United. And Thomas Partey. I don't
Yeah,
see that being a problem at all, right? Because they're weakened.
yeah,
And
yeah.
hey, without Varane, are they going to put Maguire in there? Or Lindelof, I don't know if he's there. Lindelof probably. If it's
Luke
Lindelof,
Shaw is injured too. Luke Shaw is injured too. I heard that Manchester United is talking to Højbjerg
right?
of Tottenham Hotspurs. Luke Shaw is also injured too. So these guys have a bunch of injury. It's an
Yeah,
infirmary down there in Manchester United. Arsenal,
yeah, for
under
sure.
no circumstance, have no excuse. We have to beat this guy.
Oh, we
Divs,
have
yeah.
to. Yeah.
There's no excuse.
No excuse for
We
loss or
have to
draw.
beat this chicken. We have to
Right,
beat Man United. There's no excuse. We have
right.
to beat them. Luke Shaw
I
is out.
agree with
Mount is
you.
out. Casemiro looks knackered. He looks out of his depth.
Yeah.
See, all these guys, yeah, they have genuine injury problems. We have to
Mhm.
beat these guys. Mikel Arteta, just like you said, have to revert back to a back four. Benjamin White in his rightful position, right back. Two centre back pairings in Margalej and Saliba. Then maybe just bring in Zichenko to make those overlapping runs, but yet try and see if he can be able to defend. And in the middle of the
Right.
park, should he start Kai Havertz? Are you part of those people that
No,
believe he should start Kai Havertz?
no,
Then who
no,
should he put that? Who should he put down there?
because he's going to play four. Okay, if he plays a 4-3-3, um, ESR.
ESR, yeah. Show faith in the kid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or put
show faith in it.
Rice on the left and Thomas Partey in the base of the
I
three.
don't even mind the Vieira. I don't even mind the
I don't.
Vieira.
Yeah,
Anyone but Kai Havertz for the start.
Right. Yeah. I was going to give Kai Havertz 5 or 6 games, but I think I've seen enough.
For now, I've seen enough.
Maybe
He
play
can
him.
come in the second half. No, we can
that's
give him a chance. I'm not saying
right.
I'm not saying don't play him, but I'm just saying the second half.
But
Yeah.
my thought is with Havertz is that in a 4-2-3-1, you pull out Odegaard in the 65th, 70th minute when things aren't going right, and that's when Havertz can excel in that number 10 CAM role. I mean, we've seen him play there for Chelsea without much results, right? But the games that he's played in that role, he's done really well, even though they may not have won or he may not have scored a goal, right?
Yeah.
The games where he's done bad is where he's been a left midfielder
Left midfield.
or a striker and been the only guy up front when he was isolated up front because they couldn't get the ball, right? It's sort of like when we've isolated Jesus or isolated, Lacazette or Aubameyang back then, right? If you play a 4-2-3-1, your striker at times is going to get isolated. That's just the way it works. So with that said, I don't see what Havertz really brings, right? He's brought nothing really recently, but some of the other folks on YouTube and professional commentators, the Tifu guys, will say, "Well, here's all his stats and here's what he brings." But
the
he's not
top
bringing
goonies.
He's not bringing right. He's not bringing us wins. He's not bringing us goals. So it's nothing essentially. I just think that there's something with ESR and Odegaard that can have some trickery and some speed and pace with the passing of the ball. They're fast players. They run fast. They can actually get, except for Odegaard.
Livy Smile just brought up something now. Very important. Very important. Livy Smile, big ups to you. This is very important because there's also some other scenarios I would also have to see. I'm going to put DVS on the chopping block right now. Guys, how about that? I'm going to put him on the chopping block right now. See, Livy Smile, big ups to you, man. Thanks for showing up. And probably you're a new guy down here. This is an Arsenal channel. I'm sorry, man. This is not how we usually are. It's just that we're this kind of guys that, whenever things go wrong, we express it. If it's going quite well, we also express it too. So that's how my channel goes, So you're welcome to the channel. Big ups to you. And Livy Smile says here, this is very important. This I need to look at it because I'll also bring up some other questions. He says, "Are you sure ESR?" Because we're talking about bringing in ESR to kind of plug in the holes in place of Kai Havertz. And he said, "Are you sure ESR? Arteta has not been playing him." Now, this is the big catch here. Has he had enough game time to start in such a big match? See, that is a very, very big point. And you know what? Yeah, I'm going to even drive it back to you, DVS. Yeah, look at this scenario. Me and you were clamoring for Trossard to come into the gameplay. You remember last week we were
Yeah.
talking about Trossard
There you go.
coming in
Yeah.
and playing. We saw that he's not match fit. That's why the statement is very, very important. We brought in Trossard to start over Eddie Nketiah, and I'm sorry, guys, it had a stinker in that game against Fulham. It
Mhm.
had to be removed. I don't know if it's an injury. I don't think it was an injury. I think he just had a stinker of a game. And I cannot blame Trossard because he doesn't have match fitness. Yeah, he
Mm.
hasn't played enough competitive
Right.
matches under his
ESR
belt, under his
would have the
armor
same
to
issue.
be able to come in those kind of games and give us his best. He can't do it. In the same way, this statement from Livy Smart, which is why I like this statement, you can't just throw ESR and expecting him to have a good game
Yeah,
against
you can.
Manchester United. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
So we have
I think
players who can
he's
actually
ready to
impact
play.
from the bench, but they're not. There's no fitness. There's no fitness in terms of being in a
Mm,
competitive game. So how do you tackle
I don't
that?
know about,
I'm sorry,
I
I'm
don't
putting
know
you on
about
the
that.
chopping block,
No, you're fine.
Thieves, but I'm sorry, man.
It's a good question.
You have to delve into it.
I mean, right, and the part of the reason why is I forgot who. I forgot the same guy Arteta's forgetting about, Trossard. Of course, I put Trossard in the left on a 4-3-3 over ESR.
Yeah.
To be honest, I completely forgot about him, just like Arteta has. But
Mm.
ESR is ready. He if he's not ready, then he's not a professional footballer. You know, you got to be ready to be called on at pretty much any given time. I think. Match fitness, come on. He's in there training every day. He's running around. He's fit. He says he's ready to play. He's not injured. Throw him out there and see what happens. If it doesn't work, put Trossard on, or vice versa. You know, but the fact of the matter is we all know he's going to put Harvertz in there because he's going. And why he's concentrating on him and not concentrating on, let's say, the progression of ESR or getting Trossard more time, telling Trossard where to be. He's not even playing him at left mid, right? He's playing him at left wing and striker.
Mm.
So, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing Trossard at left mid, but can he really defend? That's the thing too. And ESR really defend because you need some defense on that right side. You can't just have Zinchenko out there on the left trying to defend, you know, Antony and Rashford, Antony and Bruno Fernandes. I mean, you need someone who's mobile. And ESR probably, and I think Livy Smile is right, doesn't have the game time. But match fitness, I'm not too concerned about that. I think if you were to throw ESR in there, it'd be a surprise, right?
Yeah.
I think you'd see a spark of energy. I think you'd see someone who's willing to fight it out.
But it could still come back to bite us in the foot because it
that's
could
a
be like
weakened midfield at Man United as well, right?
I hear you, Dave. Yeah, but again, it could also come back to bite us in the ass again because me and you were clamoring for Trossard to come into the picture, and he came out and gave us that game he gave us against Fulham, and he was definitely removed out of that game. For me, he was uprooted out of that game, and I just felt that because he hasn't been thrown into a very competitive game for a very long time. Yeah, and we've been asking for this guy to be trusted into that game. No match. You could even see his runs, even off the board. He wasn't even really making those runs
Yeah.
that we used to see him making the preseason. Or he's not match fit for a competitive game, and that's because of the lack of games. ESL might be in that position. I knew he won in the championship, in the under 21 championship that they had, but it's nothing to the Premiership, right?
No, of
These
course
are
not.
killers out here, so he doesn't have that competitive edge right now. So trusting him into that Manchester United game might be a stretch too far, a little bit.
Right? Maybe so.
Maybe
Maybe so.
so, yeah.
Maybe so.
Maybe in the
But
second half, he could
it's
make
not.
an entrance in the second
Sure.
half.
Yeah, the 75th minute or something like that, and see if his speed and pace can make an impact. But I think at this point, Arteta is, I don't know, he's kind of running out of options in some cases because I know he's feeling the blowback from putting Thomas Partey at right back. You know he is. You know, that's coming from all sides of. I mean, I was watching, unfortunately, some AFTV interviews, and people were just bashing him for the right back. And if AFTV
Yeah.
starts turning on him, you know, the PR machine is going to turn on him soon.
Turn on him.
Fun. Right, and it's just we don't have a lot of answers to these questions, Tony, because we're so shocked of what we've seen so far. We're
Mm,
shocked that
mm.
he's moved away from the 4-3-3 that worked at the beginning of last
That
season, that
worked
worked
at the
for
beginning.
7
Yeah.
straight games. We're shocked at seeing Thomas Partey at right back and really underperforming. We're
Mm,
shocked that he's fitting Kai Havertz in there for no reason, basically, that he spent 65
mm.
mil, which to me, that's not even the highest of the market rate right now. That's mid.
But Dibs, yeah. See, I'm sorry. We need to get into this Kai Havertz team again. I'm sorry because it's causing lots of ripple effect down in the sea. See, do you think that Kai Havertz, yeah, coming into this team, yeah, and getting into the team just without proving himself, without like being eased into the whole thing, yeah, he just gets into the picture. Tap tap boom is in the game. Tap tap boom is getting 90 minutes without getting hauled
Right,
off, just like Trossard was hauled off. Do
sure.
you think this has a ripple effect team mentality? Do you think
Yeah.
the other guys who are sitting on the bench are like saying, "Hey, man, what is all this? This guy comes in, gets the king's treatment, yeah, comes into this football club,
Mhm.
yeah, oh good, 65 million pounder, yeah, good. But he comes in, plays 90 minutes, he doesn't have to prove himself, he just gets the minutes. And we're out here busting our asses. We can't get a sniff in the team. Trossard
Yeah.
can't get a sniff in the team. Uh, Emil Smith Rowe can't get a sniff in the team. Chelsea's looking for him. Balogu can't get a sniff in the team. He's out to Monaco. And we have a guy who just comes here from Chelsea Football Club. It's not like he had such a big profile down there, but he comes down here,
Mm.
gets the king's treatment. What do you think the Arsenal players behind the stage, yeah? What do you think they're talking about?
I don't
Does
know.
this
I'd really
affect
like
their
to.
mentality?
I don't know. I need another Amazon documentary for that, Tony.
Prince
Um,
Fuad is in the chats, guys.
you
Prince
know,
Fuad is down here, man.
yeah,
Big
Prince, I
ups
see
to
you.
Prince Fuad. You have to make your entrance. I have to, I'll send you an invite. Maybe next week we have to have a show. Maybe me, you,
That'd be
and
fun.
DVS can chop it up, and so we
Yes,
can
for
talk
sure.
about football, man. What do you think, Prince Fuad?
But
DVS, we're talking
but the
about
players'
something.
mentality, I don't know if they're worried so much about players coming in because I think that happens no matter what club you're at, right? I mean, you've got to have some ruthlessness as a manager, and you've got to be able to identify like, okay, this player's not working out. But the problem is with Arteta is that he lets those problems linger, and that costs
Mm,
us points, right? Like he did against Fulham, like he did against Southampton and West Ham and Liverpool. Some of his subs and decision making and lineups were questionable at the time. And what
yeah,
happened? Well, we freaking lost or we drew a real, shit game. But I think, yeah, I think you can see the mentality creeping in a bit when someone like Trossard, who's brought in January, is, sort of this impact, oh, excuse me, impact
sorry.
player, but also start at the same time, right?
Mm,
Um,
mm,
he's a normal starter at Brighton. Obviously, he put 3 past Liverpool, I think, in a cup game.
yeah,
Um, so he would probably be the one player I would think who's looking over his shoulder a bit, saying, "What exactly do I have to do to get in this starting 11? And what
yeah.
exactly is Kai Havertz doing that I'm not?" Well,
Mm,
the fact of the matter is, too, let's be realistic. We were looking at Kai Havertz before he joined Chelsea. He was actually on Wenger's list. I thoroughly remember this, I believe, in 2017. He was an extremely young player, up and coming at Bayer Leverkusen, and he was on tabs for us to bring him in under Wenger's second to last year
yeah,
as sort of a second mid. So Kai Havertz has been in Arsenal's world for much more than the last transfer window, than this transfer window. He's
yeah,
been talking to the club. He's someone we've identified long ago before Chelsea bought him because we weren't willing to spend $90 million. Right?
mm,
We would have bought Kai Havertz, I think, for 65 mil, the price he's worth now, 4 years ago. Right? So I'm not trying to again like kiss Kai Havertz ass or
we're ripped off in that deal.
it's
Ripped
yeah, we
our
don't
skirts opened. Yeah,
right.
in that
We're
deal.
tough. But
We got
remember
ripped
this,
off
Tony,
in that deal.
the median right now,
Unbelievable.
the average price for some of these players isn't 35, 40 million. It's 50, 55, 60 million now. We're in another generation of spending, a whole other generation of 10 million plus more for players, right?
It's horrible.
And
It's
that's
horrible.
that's why I think like Declan Rice was an expensive deal, but it wasn't out of the realm
Are
of
you
what
still
a player
giving
like
Are you
him
still
is
giving Kai
worth.
Havertz a chance? Are you still giving Kai Havertz a chance in this team? I'm giving him up to more 7 games to prove himself.
Okay.
Many
Fair
other
enough.
guys, many other Arsenal fans have
I mean,
written him off. Yeah, they've thrown him to the bin. Many
sure.
want him to
Many
be
have.
binned out
Right.
right now. They don't trust. They don't like this guy. They don't want him to start. They hate him. You know what? Yeah, but I'm a fair guy. I will give you more 7 games. Prove yourself to us, Kai Havertz. Yeah,
Right.
because I'm this kind of guy that always. I love the underdog story. Yeah, there's no shame in loving the underdog story. Yeah, I like
Right.
people that many people don't give a chance, but you you're just willing to to just put an effort and prove the haters wrong. I
Right.
like that underdog story. I
Right.
want to see it. I want to give Kai a chance. He should show
Mm.
it to us in the next 7 games, but from the bench. Yeah, from the bench.
Right.
Show it to us. Show us why we should field you for 60 minutes in a game. We've
Mm.
tried you in the first 3 games for 90 minutes, and I'm sorry it's not working. I won't blame him. I won't blame him. Yeah, I blame probably maybe the manager for bringing him, yeah, to this football club. But again, I'm giving him more 7 chances. Show to Arsenal fans why you
Right.
deserve to get that chance. Show them why you deserve that chance. If you can do that in the next 7 games, then I'll say, okay, good. But you have to start from the bench, not in the starting 11 again.
Right.
I think
Right.
that's fair enough. Let's move into the striker because we need to close up the show quite soon.
Sure.
See, what is going to happen in this striking position right now? Victor Osimhen is not here yet. So let's just wait. Let's take a pause a
Yeah.
little bit.
Let's
See,
wait on
yeah,
Victor.
Eddie Nketiah is our
Mm.
best striker right now. Do you agree to this, my brother?
In current form, yes, but he's not better than Jesus overall.
Yes, man. We wanted Eddie's call in the first game. He gave us that call. He answered the
He
call.
did.
In the second game, he was the only one to answer that call and give us that penalty.
He
In the
did.
third game, he's scoring a goal. He answered that call.
He
See, no
did.
matter how, see,
Ugh.
you know I'm not a big fan of Eddie Nketiah. You
Yeah,
know
me
this,
neither.
yeah. You know
Yeah.
this. But man, he's scoring goals, and you know I'm shameless. I'm that guy. Score goals for me. That's what help the team. I'm not
Yeah.
all about these players. I'm all about Arsenal. I support Arsenal Football Club. So if you're giving me goals, I'll take you in. It's
But I
looking
think
like is the guy that answers the calls right now in the team. So,
that
so
seems to be the case.
would
So
you put
yes,
him in that game against Manchester United?
no,
Oh, wow,
no. I think
that's a
Gabriel
surprise,
Jesus
man.
is Gabriel
That's a
Jesus
surprise.
is better. He's ready to play. He's got his injury. He's all sewn up. He's ready to go. He's ready to go. But here's what Jesus brings, right? More than
Yeah.
Nketiah. Jesus will get other players involved. And Nketiah
Okay.
has to have a ball 3 yards in front of him for him to run onto. Jesus can dribble through defenders. Eddie Nketiah can't. Eddie Nketiah is like a Ronaldo or a Holland that needs the ball on a silver plate for him to finish. Granted, he's been decent these first 3 games. But Jesus can get Martinelli involved. He can get Saka more involved. He can get Trossard more involved. Odegaard more involved. He just has better movement and a better instinct for goal. Remember, we only saw what Jesus brought with a World Cup last season.
Yeah.
World Cup, 2 months out of his goal scoring. And he was one of our top goal scorers going into the World Cup, if not our top goal scorer going into the World Cup. We have yet to see a full season with Jesus up front. Right?
But again,
He's a better player, bro.
see that, yeah. But again, Gabriel Jesus, even in a Manchester City shirt, couldn't give them more than 15 goals in a season.
Right.
Yeah, let's be frank. Yeah, he's injury prone. Even in Manchester City, he was injury prone. Last season, he proved it again. He didn't get up to 15 goals, and he also got injured again.
In the World Cup.
Good, I get that. But at the start of the season, he's injured, and we have a striker who came in.
But he's not.
I'm sorry, man, and he scored a goal. He scored a goal in the second game. He got us that penalty. In the third game, he got a goal. He's on a roll.
Tony, I understand that. You're right.
He's on a
And you've got a
roll.
good point. He is a bit on a roll. But
Mm.
if your Ferrari is in the shop and you're driving your Yugo every day, and your Yugo's getting you to and from work and the grocery store and to the pub to get a couple cheeky tequilas, and then your Ferrari comes back out of the garage, are you going to jump back in your Ferrari or drive your fucking Toyota? The Ferrari's
No,
coming out
it's
of the
true.
garage, mate. And we're going to get
No,
behind the Ferrari, and he's going to make things happen. He's not going to get us 30 goals. He's not going to get us 25 goals. He's going to get Martinelli 10 or 12 goals. He's going to get Odegaard 15 goals last season. He's going to get Saka 12 or 15 goals.
I know, but
He
this is
can't
my
pass
fear.
the ball
But
in the box either.
this is my fear. This is my fear. Eddie Nketiah has gotten 2 goals in 3 games, and one you can call it an assist because he got that penalty. And for me, if you're getting an assist, it's a goal. So I put it 3 goals in 3 games. Yeah, that's what I want for my striker. If you're playing
Right.
three games, you're giving me 3 goals. That's what I want from my striker. If he was a Brazilian, if he was having a Brazilian name, we'll be saying, "Oh, it's 3 games, 3 goals. That's good,
Right.
good and
Right.
okay." And I understand this is Eddie Nketiah. It's not like I like the guy in terms of his gameplay. As a person, I do like him, but in his gameplay, no, I don't think he's our future. I don't think he's the striker. I don't think he's that guy. But again, he's on form. And
Right.
there's a big
That says a
difference
lot.
when a player is
I
on
mean,
form and is scoring goals for the team. Gabriel Jesus is not on form. He's just coming from injury. We should ease him through this. If not, he's gonna get injured again. We've seen this happen before. It's not
yeah,
out of space reality
right.
to
No,
think
no,
about that again. It could come back to
you've
haunt
got a
us
good
again.
point. Play
Could
the
get
players in
injured
form.
again. So since Gabriel Jesus has that thing in him that he can actually get injured again, why not just play the striker that has been giving us goals this season already? Don't fix what is not broken. Play Eddie Nketiah, even if it's Lock, even if he's on form, anyone. So far as giving us goals, let's put him there. Let's give him a start because he's scoring the goals and he's on form. My fear is that if we go now and keep Eddie Nketiah on the
Mm,
bench, and then lack of match fitness, and then the goals we're getting from him are not coming even again. The problem.
yeah, no, and then but right, but then you solve that problem by rotating Trossard and Jesus in, right? There's ways to fix that, right? But you have
Mhm.
a good point, and you're right. If it was Jesus that was in, if it was flip flop the other way, let's say Eddie was scored the 12, 14 goals last season, and Jesus was the one injured or didn't score so many games, blah blah blah. Would I feel the same about Jesus? Like, would I say, oh, you got to play him because of the form? And the answer is yes. But he's levels above Eddie, Brazilian, challenging for World Cups. City play. He brought other players to score goals in City. That's why he didn't score 25 goals this season.
Yeah, yeah,
You had Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne. I mean,
yeah.
I
True.
mean, they look like
Fact.
Leroy Sané and these other top fucking attackers, right?
Yeah,
But
true.
you like say, well, you got, but you're right. You got to go with the informed players, and Arteta is going to realize that that's basic management 101, right? You go with the informed players.
You
So
go with the informed players.
I can't. There's not really much for me to disagree with that because he's scoring goals. He's in form, and
Mhm.
if we base that on Jesus, we'd be doing the same thing. If we based it on Trossard, we'd be saying the same thing, right? And
Yeah.
then
Big up to you, Danny.
have a good one, Danny. Thank you very much. Have a good night, bro. Um,
Yeah,
if we were saying the same thing about Havertz, yeah, I'd want to see him start, right? If Havertz was
yeah,
scoring the goals that Eddie is now, yes, play him. So I think you got me 1-0 up on that one, Tony, because
yeah,
Eddie's
yeah,
in
yeah,
form
yeah. Sure,
and he's
yeah,
scoring
sure.
goals, and I shouldn't let my last season biases, or the season before that, or the season before that, the season
Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah,
cloud
yeah.
my
Come on.
current judgment. So you have a very good point. To be honest, it really doesn't matter to me if one of them starts because the real battle is going to be at the midfield and the real challenge is going to be defending. I'm
But
not
but
too
but
worried
again, but
about us in
again, but
attack,
again, Dow,
okay?
Dow,
But we
Dow,
have to score goals.
We're not looking at it from this position that Gabriel
Mm.
Jesus is just coming back from injury. He's been rushed
Right. No,
into
you're right.
this.
You're
He's
right. And
been
that goes
rushed
right
into
with
this.
Eddie.
He's going to get injured again. And it's going to be mid-season, and it's going to implode all over again.
It could.
And then we'll face,
Petty gets injured.
and then we'll be all up in this discussion all over again, laying abuses on the football club again.
But let's.
So why don't we just?
Football. We can't.
Why don't we avoid this problem?
You guys agree with me in the chat.
It's true.
One thing
Why
about
don't
football,
we avoid this problem? Skip Jesus on the bench. Easy,
hold on, brother. Listen, 1 second. 1 second. There's things you can predict in football. You can predict lineups. You can predict scores, but you cannot predict injuries because those that happens. You know, that's a variable outside of the game. True. I don't think managers prepare for injuries, right? They prepare for substitutions, right, at certain times, right? So if Gabriel Jesus, he's probably not 100% match fit, but he's injury free. Those are two separate things, right? Injury free and match fit are two different things.
Well, he's injury prone. That's it. When he's coming back from an injury,
all players are injury prone in the Premier League.
There's something there that tells you my real core. It's possible. Anything is possible with Arsenal. Right. We just brought in a player from Ajax of Amsterdam who just collapsed even before he touched the second game.
Getting injured than Eddie? You're saying the chances of Jesus are getting injured is better than Eddie's chance of getting injured, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Based on the past, on last
season. Based on the past, yeah,
right,
definitely.
Sure. Okay, now, again, you erase last season out of your mind because that was a World Cup asterisk season, right? We don't have World Cups in November. We just don't. So there's something to be said there. The second part is Gabriel Jesus is naturally a better football player than Eddie Nketiah. Fact?
True. Fact.
Right. Eddie Nketiah has not done much to garner accomplishments and praise at Arsenal. Fact?
Fact.
Currently, Eddie Nketiah is our top striker. Fact?
Fact.
And if you're a real manager, you play based on form and endurance and fitness. Fact?
Fact.
And I give you the benefit of the doubt, my friend. Eddie Nketiah should start. But he is not a better football player than Gabriel Jesus.
Definitely.
And I know that's not the question, but I don't think I really don't know what Eddie's going to do against United. Yeah, he scored the little tap-in goal last season. Great. But I just think Jesus brings more around him.
Yeah, he brings more around him.
That's why Martinelli and them are suffering.
But how are you sure he's going to bring it? But again, you can't be so sure he's gonna bring it because he's not match fit. That's another. He's just coming from injury. He's not totally match fit. Right. And again, this Trossard issue should have even given us a lesson or two. We're bringing in a player who is not even match fit at all.
If Jesus only played a few minutes Saturday, he's had all this week to get match fit.
Okay, but not in a competitive game.
I don't know. Maybe you guys know in the
chat. Not in a competitive game, though. But again, not in a competitive game, though. And again, I'm still of this school that believes it has to be eased through this comeback. We cannot just trust him in just like that. He's injury prone. What happens if he drops in the next game? We'll be in a bigger mess. And right now, I can't trust Arsenal because I'm not sure we're going to bring in Victor Osimhen in. So instead of risking this guy, let's ease him in.
But if you're Arteta, you're concentrating on winning the game with the best 11. And you're right, he may not be match fit. But if you're Arteta, you're still saying, okay, this is a top game. Eddie has gotten me some results. Granted, he's hit the post. We've won on penalties, etc. But Jesus was his main guy. He's the first
main guy
in.
Yeah.
You know how he goes. He changes things, right? When he gets those players available.
Sure.
And who knows how long it takes to get match fit? I don't know. And in Arteta's mind, he could be thinking, hey, if I play, in Arteta's mind, I don't think when he makes the 11, Tony, that he thinks that, this guy could get injured.
This guy could get.
I don't think they plan that way. And if but maybe I'm wrong with Jesus in there. He's like, maybe I'll start him. But if he gets injured, then I'll play Eddie or Trossard. I just don't know if that is in his thought process.
In his thoughts,
Like if he puts Gabriel Jesus up there, he probably sees it as okay. I can put Jesus in for the first half, see his fitness, and then sub him out. And and it's just completely unlucky if he gets injured. But you're right. If he's not match fit, he runs a higher chance of getting injured. Then we're really in a hole for the next few months, right? I don't know, Tony. These are good and bad problems to have, right?
Yeah,
Because we have
exactly.
striker and Eddie Nketiah, who is in form and scoring goals. All the more power to him. I still don't think he's Arsenal quality, but I'll
Me
put
too.
that
I
aside
don't think so.
as long as he's scoring goals and performing. But at the same time, you have to have your top caliber players in your top 11.
In your top 11, I agree.
Not a top caliber player. Maybe we're going to eat our words this year, Tony. Maybe this is the season for Nketiah. Maybe it is.
Maybe it's the breakout time. Let's see. It's possible.
You know, I want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, I think I've seen enough of Eddie, and I'm
me
kind
too.
of
I think I've seen enough of him.
I've seen enough of Havertz.
I think I've seen enough of him. But if he's giving us goals,
right?
If
exactly.
he's giving us goals, bro,
right.
I'm shameless.
Right. Yeah, it's a hard topic to really argue about because there really is no wrong answer, right? These are good problems to have. That we have, some slight injuries, but we have players coming back and players like Eddie that are willing to work and perform. He was out there working, man. I got to give him that. He looked better at Trossard in that Fulham game, and so I'll give credit where credit is due. But I think that if we're talking about selling players to kind of go back, I would rather sell Eddie, get some money, than sell ESR, who I think has more versatility in the team as a left mid, right mid, center mid, etc.
And of course, Livy Smart says here, I think that the reason why we can't consistently attract good players is because Arteta is not a manager with a reputation that is good enough. See, man.
Until you start winning Champions League trophies, man, you're not going to get rated, at least by me. That's why I look at Carlo Ancelotti right now as one of the greatest.
Exactly. You can't argue with speech like this. Yeah. Right. See, Divs, please just tell us where they could find you. We've come to the end of the show, man. I don't want to keep you for so long again, man.
It's good, man.
I know this is a good battle. Actually, I enjoyed the show. This is a good battle to have, man.
I like diving into the details.
Yeah, man.
You definitely find me on YouTube at Oregon Goon and find me on Instagram at infamous_Dow. And I've actually fired my Twitter back up again because I saw my man Lee Gunners on there, and I just saw Yeti was on there. So I'm on Twitter X, Oregon Goon HD. Come and say hi. Thanks again, Tony. Great show.
Yeah, guys, see, go find Oregon Gunner. He's on Twitter. Yeah, go find Oregon Gunner. He's as infamous Dow. Yeah, on Instagram. He talks football. He just loves football. Yeah, he's not in this for money or anything. Yeah, he just loves to talk football. Yeah. So just, exactly, man. So just go follow this guy. Yeah, you have a great chat with him on Instagram or on Twitter. Yeah, sure. And of course, follow, subscribe to the channel, help this channel in any way you can. And of course, tomorrow it will be the best of frenemies. Me and Onomes OJ, the Manchester City fan. He will be down here to mouth off about Manchester City. So, guys, you just have to be ready. It might be a double header tomorrow because Sam Shafiq will be down here with us also for the Premier League cruise. So, it might be 2-in-1 tomorrow. So, guys, you have to prepare for that one. Deji Sports will be coming back on Thursday. Guys, you better be ready. Man. Exactly, man. Deji Sports. And mind you, Deji Sports won he wants a piece of the Oregon Gunner. So Oregon Gunner,
I want to
he wants a piece of you.
Woo! I missed out on the
he wants to cook you, man. He wants to cook you.
I'm not giving him a pass again. I know man's watching.
Exactly, man. He wants to cook you.
Yeah.
So because of course Tottenham Hotspurs won their game, last week. So he was looking for you everywhere. It was like all guns blazing. Looking for you. Where is the Oregon Gunner?
Right. No, they did. They absolutely demolished United in that second half for sure. That was actually some good football. And shout out to Zuma. Wow. I mean, if Tottenham can get running, they're going to be a threat this season, but not really. Let's be honest, they're not a threat.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think they have the strikers to.
2 or 3 losses will take all the air out of their balloon.
Yeah, exactly. But again, let's see. Maybe Postecoglou is the guy. Let's see.
Maybe he's the guy. Big
Maybe
Ange.
he's the guy.
Robbie Williams
I
singing
know.
songs about you. You know you're doing something right. Good Lord. But
Good
also,
Lord.
hey, one shout out to the American Idiot Show this Friday. We're going to be, I think, about a 6:30 because of the Friday game. So we're going to be a little bit early. Tony, please come by, say hello, say what's up
Yeah,
in the chat.
definitely.
I think we're going to have Flawless on from Sarcasm City TV, I believe. If I got that right, TJ, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, we're gonna get you on again soon, Tony. Hopefully in the next week or two, and talk some more. We've got some stuff coming up with American Idiots. Not to pull away from what you're doing or nothing, but
Yeah.
another comment, Tony. I want to say that I love your guy out on the streets. Your
Oh,
yeah, it's
yeah.
brilliant.
Thank
Doing
you, man.
fans, I think you've really captured a good time to do that type of content right now because there's lots to talk about. There's lots going on. And it's cool to have a man out on the street. So big ups to that. Big ups to what you're doing and everything you're
Yeah.
putting together. You're really, really working hard in this community, and we appreciate you for sure.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. I really do appreciate that. I really do appreciate that coming from you, DVS, because you've always been one of these persons that you've started with me. I knew when I had just maybe 10 subscribers, five. You were that guy that came in and subscribed to me, when I first started this channel. And to just
Absolutely.
see it grow, and you're also down here, and me and you now have a show together, man. You're one of my biggest rock in this, on this channel, and thanks very much, man. And guys, yeah, do support us, yeah, do support us, yeah. It's a movement, and let's just be very real in talking about Arsenal. Yeah, don't sugarcoat anything. If they're doing well, you give them their encomiums. Yeah, good. If they're doing badly or doing poorly, you let it all out. That's me. Say it as it is. That's it. Big ups to Tony Ibarra, who's down here, our big brother down here. Livy Smiles, long haired Yeti. Guys, if you have the chance, go subscribe to Long Haired Yeti. Great guy. Go show him some love in his cave. Yeah, this guy has a cave, carved out there in Nottingham Forest. Just go there and show that guy some love. I love that guy to the core. Also, other guys who's come down to the show: Judge G, Danny in the house, CFCOG Prince. Fuad was also down here. All these guys. Slice, Carl Rossi was also here. Jaminho was also here. All these guys here. Thank you very much. Yeah, and come show me an Oregon Gunner love next week Monday, because we'll be here with, of course, the talk of that Manchester versus Arsenal matchup. So it will be very, very big. Me and him will delve. Arsenal we better not lose. We better not lose that
I don't
game.
even want to
But again, what's your prediction for that matchup?
Oh gosh, that's a good one. Shoot, man, I'm thinking we can do a 3-1. Nick, I think we can do a 2-1 and then Nick 1 in the end. 3-1. Yeah, I don't see them. They're not that good, bro.
They're not that good, man.
They show up, right? It's one of those teams that shows up against us, right? Because of the old rivalry and so forth.
Come on, I mean, Nottingham Forest is putting 2 goals. It's putting 2 goals in the net in the first 7 minutes.
If we play 4 defenders, we'll win 3-1.
We'll win, yeah, exactly. We should be putting them on toast. They're chickens right now.
Yeah.
Man United are chickens. Yeah, Nottingham Forest is putting 2 goals behind their net in 7 minutes. It says something. They're in a shambles. Yeah, these guys are no killers. They're chickens. So,
but Tony, but we got to come out with like fire, Tony. We can't come out like we did against Fulham. We have to come out like and attack, smoking. And fire. So the prediction means nothing if we don't come out and give them a game, right? So
give them a game, right?
I still think 3-1 because we can overrun that midfield. That defense is soft.
Yeah, it's soft, man. It's soft, man. Softer than panties or something like that. All right, man. From me and DVS.
Thank you, everyone.
Guys. Thank you, everyone, and see you guys soon. Big ups.
Big ups.